back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome to another book haul. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out here for the next several videos that you're going to see from me in the next coming months. If you see me wearing the same 5 shirts every video, do not say anything. I'm in the stage of pregnancy where only a few things fit, so this is what I'm wearing, and I'm just gonna be okay with it. But today we're going to talk about all the books that I've acquired since my last book haul. And I know I just posted a book haul, but I filmed that months ago. And so I have acquired a lot, a lot of books. So I figured I would just sit down and share them all with you. Most of them comprise of special editions and books that I got in book boxes. Then I bought some stuff for myself, and then I have a stack of books that I got from YallWest, which really tells you how long it's been since I filmed a book haul because YallWest was in May. So without further ado, it's going to be a long video. Let's just get into it. I'm going to start with the books that I bought myself because they're closest to me and one of the smaller stacks. So we'll do that one. We'll do the books that I got from YallWest, and then we'll do the special editions because that's the most cumbersome amount. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the completion of my Sarah J Maas collection, which is Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas, of course. This is her, like, middle child that everyone just doesn't talk about, you know? It's one of her books that is not really accepted in her catalog because it's very different from what she usually writes, but it's part of the DC Icons world. I'm sure it says it somewhere, but I don't actually know. Yes, the DC Icons. And some of the other ones have been written by Leigh Bardugo, Marie Lu, and somebody that I've never heard of. So, but I had to own it. I'm a Sarah J Maas fan. I feel like I would be a fake fan if I didn't own it and at least give it a try. So I'm excited to give it a go. I don't exactly know what it is about other than it's about Catwoman and it's a retelling of some sort, and hopefully I enjoy it. Also, I'm gonna get through this video fast because it is so hot in my house and I'm sweating balls. Then my pre-order of A Little Bit Country came in by Brian D. Kennedy. This came out in June. It's also an LGBTQI+ book. And Clint read this one and absolutely loved it and said that I needed to buy it. So I pre-ordered it after he got an advanced reader's copy of it and read it and loved it. So I'm excited to give it a go. I don't know anything of what it's about. I just know that it's LGBTQI+. Clint recommends it, so I'm going to read it. Sweating, so fucking hot. Oh my god. Okay. Up next, I have Starland by Rivers Solomon. Definitely not a book I ever thought I was going to read, but I saw it used at the bookstore, so I figured I would pick it up and give it a try. I believe this is a YA horror. Clint also read this one recently and loved it. Either that one or was it Summer Suns? I don't remember which one he read. Both of them have hands on them and weird, creepy vibes, so I could be wrong about which one he read, but anyways, I've heard good things about this one. I've been wanting to give this author a go, so I figured I would pick it up and see how I like it. The next one is from an author that you guys know I absolutely love and adore. I actually have 2 of her books in the stack, and that is Breakable Things by Katie Wismer. This is her wow, I swear I can speak. This is her 3rd poetry collection that she released earlier this year, and it's just absolutely stunning. I adore everything about this book. I don't exactly know what this poetry collection centers around. Usually her poetry collections have a theme, but I don't know anything about it. I just knew that I wanted to buy it because I love supporting her. It is signed and personalized to me, which I absolutely love. And on the back it says, this part right here may be quieter, but it matters too. So I'm excited to give this a go. I read her other 2 poetry collections and absolutely loved them, so I don't think this will be the exception. Then used, I picked up Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. This has been called the Game of Thrones for kids or YA readers. I never plan on reading Game of Thrones, so I figured why not try this one that has been so heavily compared to it. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, but I'm definitely willing to give it a go. Then we have King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. This is the 3rd book in the Red Queen series. I read book 1, didn't absolutely love it, but I ended up reading book 2 for a video idea that I had planned, and I actually really ended up enjoying book 2, so I picked up book 3, used. It's a hardcover, all the rest of mine are paperbacks, but I figured I would just buy it since it was cheap. I actually think I got this for free, so I'm not complaining. It is a very classic YA dystopian sci-fi fantasy series where the world is made up of red-blooded people and silver-blooded people, and the red bloods are like the lowest of the low, and that's what our character Mare is. She's red-blooded, but one day she finds out that she has powers that only a silver-blooded person should have, and she kind of gets thrown into this big political game, and it goes from there. Like I said, didn't love the 1st book, but liked the 2nd book enough to pick up the 3rd. Again, I was at the bookstore and I saw Fallen in Love by Lauren Kate. I got this used. I do plan on continuing the series at some point. I just don't have a timeline on it, but it's a little novella. I figured I'd pick it up. It was cheap to no dollars, so I don't see the harm in it. Speaking of Katie Wismer, I did pick up, my fingerprints are all over it, I did pick up the hardcover edition of Wicked Souls, which is the second book in the Marionette series. I have already hauled the first book in the series in paperback, but I did also order the hardcover because I wanted the hardcover editions to match. I absolutely love this series. It follows, oh my god, I can't talk. It follows Valerie Darkmoor, who is training to be a marionette. It's like these elite witches that kind of help aid the vampire race, and as she's leading up to her trials, things start going awry, and she realizes that not only her trials are in danger but also her life. And it's a fun, sexy, paranormal romance with vampires and witches, and it's a lot of fun. The second book is very steamy, which I enjoyed, and it's just really exciting. So I'm very, very excited for book 3, which hopefully comes out in November. Then again, used, I bought Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. This is a book that I've heard very mixed things about, but again, I saw it used, so I figured why not pick it up. I believe it follows a woman who is a truth witch. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of witch, and she's trying to keep her identity hidden because her assets could be very valuable in a political aspect, but when she's found out, she goes on the run, and it devolves from there. I have no idea if I'm going to like it, but we shall see. Then I picked up 3 Katie Robert books. First one being Wicked Beauty, the third book in the Dark Olympus series. The first one was Neon Gods, and then the second one, I can't remember the name, but I'll put the picture on the screen. And the third one is Wicked Beauty. This one, I'm really excited for. Oh, it's right here, Electric Idol. Very excited to read this one. She's publishing these ones in the series very, very quickly, so I want to keep on track so I can, you know, not fall behind in another series. And then I also picked up books 2 and book 4 in the Wicked Villain series by Katie Robert. These are dark, smutty retellings of our regular, normal Disney stories. But usually in these stories, the hero ends up with the villain, or the heroine, I should say. So I'm excited to read all of those ones. I do love a good smutty Katie Robert book, so hopefully I can get around to those ones relatively soon. And finally, the last book that I bought for myself recently was The Lightning Struck Heart by TJ Klune. This is the first book in the Tales of Verania series. You guys all know I have a huge love and adoration for TJ Klune, and I'm very, very excited to continue to read the series. I am currently reading this book and absolutely loving it. It follows Sam, who is a wizard, and he is a very quirky, funny, talks a lot, very obnoxious type of guy, but he is in love with somebody that he can't have, and during that time he's also learning to become the most powerful wizard in the world, and it comes with a lot of hijinks and craziness and humor, and it's just hilarious. His 2 sidekicks, his best friends, are a giant and a gay unicorn that is hornless, so as you can imagine, it has a lot in store. The next book I'm going to talk about is kind of a bridge between my YallWest books and books I did not buy at YallWest. This one is one I did not buy at YallWest. However, I did hear this author talk about this book when I was at YallWest, so I immediately pre-ordered the book, and I'm very excited to have it. This is a YA friends to enemies to lovers romance, and the way that she described it sounded absolutely amazing, so I 100% had to pick it up. I don't read a lot of YA much anymore, but the way that she told us about this book, there was no way that I could walk away from it. So I did pre-order this one. This is by Kristen Dwyer, and I'm very excited to read this. Now, speaking of books that I bought at YallWest, I only bought 2 books myself. I bought this one at like the Fun Friday event, and I did get this one signed. This is Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. I did get it signed and personalized to me, so that's very fun. Again, I don't know anything about this, but really wanted to support Raquel. She is a YouTuber here and just published her first book, so I'm very excited to read it. It's LGBTQI+, and I've heard really good things about it so far. And then we also have Lost in the Neverwood by Ian Thomas. I didn't think I was ever going to read this. Peter Pan is not my favorite story, and I'm not really big on retellings, but I've heard really good things about it, so I figured I would give it a go. I also really enjoyed Cemetery Boys, so hopefully I can get around to this one and love it. And then the arcs that I got or won during my time there at YallWest, we have Finding Jupiter. I don't remember what any of these are about, so I'm just going to breeze on past them. I also got The Stars Did Wander Darkling. This is a middle grade, horror middle grade. Then we have We Deserve Monuments and Twice as Perfect. Okay, now let's finally get into all the special edition books that I have, and holy moly, we're gonna be here for a while. And when I say special editions, not all of them have special aspects to them, but I did get them in book boxes and they are signed by the author, so I figured I would include them in this section. The first one that I have is a middle grade called The Mirrorland by Devon Fagan. I don't remember what these ones are about, and I'm not going to read the synopsis because we will be here forever. It just says, appearances can be deceiving. I was wearing my sister's face on the night the hunters came to our cottage. This one, I remember from reading the synopsis that it sounded really, really good. So hopefully, if I'm in the mood for middle grade again, I will pick this one up soon. Another middle grade that we have is 12th by Janet Key. Finding yourself is a treasure worth seeking. On the back it says, hands trembling, Marin picked up a little envelope and turned it over. On the back was something written in some fancy cursive scrawl. And as soon as she read the words written there, she understood. There was a ring, the play was the key, and someone, for some reason, wanted her to find it. So I believe this is a middle grade mystery. It sounded good, so hopefully, again, I can get to it soon. Up next, we have Together We Burn by Isabella Banez. This came in an Owl Crate, maybe? I cannot remember exactly which book box this was in, but it looks good. There's dancing, there's fire, there's magic, there is a romance. I believe this is Spanish inspired, so excited to give this one a go. I've heard good things about this author and this book, so hopefully I love it. Then we have my duplicate copy of Blood Scion by Deborah Fillet. I do already have a copy from Owl Crate. This one I believe was a Lumicrate. This was a Fairy Loot. Has beautiful blue sprayed edges, and the naked hardcover is absolutely stunning, so excited to give this one a go. Hopefully I love it since I have a duplicate copy, but this one says, I am a descendant of Shango, the god of heat and fire. I am a living inferno. I am a dead girl walking. So hopefully I get to this one soon because it's written by a Black author, and I'm trying to read more books by diverse authors. So again, hopefully I can get to this soon. Then we have a classic book that came in the Owl Crate Junior box, and that is The Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I have heard mixed reviews about this book and this series as a whole, but it was sent to me, so I'm willing to give it a try. I don't read a ton of fantasy, adult fantasy, or classic fantasy, so we'll see. Then I have my 3 copies of Book of Night by Holly Black, which is unfortunate because I soft DNF this book. I got about 35% of the way through and didn't end up absolutely falling in love with it. If you have read this book and you have any thoughts and you think that I should continue, please let me know. I am looking for even the smallest push to get back to this one since I do have 3 editions, but if I don't end up loving this book, I will include it in a giveaway or something because these are stunning. These are all signed. These are absolutely gorgeous. Some of these have some really cool special edition aspects to them, but I just don't need to keep a book I didn't love. Up next, we have The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I got this one in a Fairy Loot, a Lumicrate, Fairy Loot YA box, and it looks cute. I don't know why I said cute. It actually reminds me of a adult fantasy, the way that the cover is put together. I think it's absolutely stunning, but I don't remember anything about it, so that's helpful. Neither here nor there, but long ago. A lamp, a journey, a sultan. Sounds good. I apologize if the angle changed, but my recording stopped, so let's go ahead and continue. Up next, we have The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. This was a book that I got in the Fairy Loot adult box, and I'm really excited to be getting adult boxes now because I do not keep up with adult fantasy releases, not nearly as often as I do with YA or romances, so I'm excited that I have this. This is one that I'm really excited to read. I've heard really good things about it. It says, the 4 realms, life, death, light, and darkness, all converge on the City of Dusk, ruled by the 4 noble houses of Nixus. For each realm there is a god, and for each god there is an heir. I've heard really, really good things about this one so far, so I'm really hoping that I can get to it soon because it just sounds so freaking good. Up next, we have The School for Whatnots. This is by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I recently unboxed this in a haul or an unboxing, so I won't go over it too much, but it does sound really good. It's about a little boy who finds a note from his best friend saying that his best friend is real, but he doesn't understand why he shouldn't believe that she's real. He knows that she is, but somehow she's disappeared and nobody believes that she ever existed, and so he goes on a journey to figure out what's going on and to find her again. So this one sounds really cute. Then we have The Marvelers by Danielle Clayton. I cannot remember if this one was an Owl Crate Junior. It looks like it is. It's signed by the author. It might be regular Owl Crate. I honestly don't remember. It is, actually, no, I'm sorry, it is middle grade. 11-year-old Ella Duran is the first conjurer to attend the Arcanium Training Institute, a magic school in the clouds where marvelers from all around the world practice their cultural arts, like brewing Indian spices, elixirs, and bartending with pesky Irish pixies. This one sounds cute as well. Again, I really need to get to more middle grades, so hopefully this is one that I can pick up soon. The next book came in the Lumicrate box, and I was just really surprised by this one, to be honest, and that is Portrait of a Thief by Gracie D. Lee. I do like seeing the mix-up of different things, but for an Lumicrate box, it just seemed a little bit out of place. This is a heist story, a mystery. It says, Will could hear the sirens. They sounded like a promise. I don't really know too much about this one. I don't know why I kept that in the book, but it does have like a pretty lengthy synopsis, so I'm not going to read it. But I believe it's like a heist to rob like a history museum or something like that. So it sounds interesting. I don't know if it's something that I will necessarily pick up anytime soon, but it's good to have. Up next, we have another fairy loot book, and that is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I've heard really good things about this one so far. It's been on some people's favorite of the year list so far, and I'm really excited to give it a go. It is a fantasy that has to do with Her Majesty's Royal Coven, Anne Boleyn, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know, it's kind of like rooted in history, but also a fantasy, so I'm interested to give it a go. I've heard good things, so hopefully I love it. Then we have Ballad and Dagger. This is by Daniel Jose Older, and this is a YA fantasy that came in an Owl Crate box. Again, don't remember anything about this, but it says, almost 16 years ago, Matthias's island homeland disappeared into the sea. And he's on a journey to learn more about his homeland and to save it, I'm pretty sure, but sounds good. Again, hopefully I love it. Then we have an additional book that came in a Fairy Loot or Owl Crate, cannot remember, but this is An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan. This is the author of The Astonishing Color of After. Both of the books sound really good. I have not read anything by this author just yet, but hopefully I can get to this one or her other one relatively soon, because I've heard nothing but good things, and I've heard that she's a really lyrical writer, so hopefully I like it. Alright, here's a book that did not come in a book box, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Lore Olympus Volume 2. I saw it, and there was no way that I could pass it up. I do own the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of the first volume, so I had to grab the second volume as well. I'm very excited to get around to Volume 1. It's still on my TBR, and I have yet to read it, but the art style in these ones is just so stunning, and I'm hoping that I love them, because I did buy the second one without even reading the first one, so cross my fingers that I love it. This is one that I just recently unboxed today, and that is J.R. Silverbright's Her World. This is about a little girl who is kind of struggling with all the changes that are happening in her life and the amount of boundaries that she has in her personal life, and suddenly she begins to be able to write things down in her journal, and every story that she writes becomes a reality, and it's the consequences of that. So sounds really cute. Again, another middle grade that I'm excited to get to. We All Fall Down by Rosie Zabo. This one came in a Luma Crate box, Fairy Loot box, Owl Crate box, I can't remember. This is a queer fantasy story about the old city and the new city, and 4 young queer people struggling with the daily hazards of life, and then they get thrown into a murder mystery and a war, and it sounds interesting, so hopefully I like it. Then we had another additional book in a Fairy Loot box, and that is Twin Crowns by Catherine Weber and Catherine Doyle. This is a book that I find to be the absolutely most stunningest. That's not proper English, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's the most stunning book that I have seen in a really long time. The freaking spine is gorgeous, the stenciled edges are gorgeous, the cover itself is gorgeous, the back is gorgeous, everything about this book is gorgeous. 2 sisters, 1 crown. In the battle for the crown of Iana, where will your allegiances lie? Sounds like a really good sister fight to the death story, and I'm very excited for it. In that same box, we got This Vicious Grace by Emily Thide. I don't know the last name of this author, but it sounds really good. Again, I don't really remember too much about these ones. I open them and then I'm like, oh cool, and then I put them away. But this says 3 weddings, 3 funerals, 1 more chance to save them all. I believe that Books and Lala just recently read this one as an ARC and enjoyed it enough, so I'm very excited to give it a go. Hopefully I love it. Alright, we are coming up on the last 4 books. 2 of them are from Mystic Box, 2 of them are from Bell Box. These are a sister companion company that does both boxes. They put together hardcover special editions of romance books, which y'all know I love a good dark romance, and when they have pretty beautiful covers and stenciled and sprayed edges, I'm in. Count me in. So the first one that we have is Be the Girl by K.A. Tucker. This book just is absolutely stunning, and the stenciled edges are gorgeous. Don't remember anything about it. Boy Next Door, Hartford, one that earns her a vindictive enemy and who's determined to splinter her happy new world. Interesting. It sounds like it might be like a revenge, older brother's friend, romance. I don't know, but it sounds good, and I love anything that sounds like that. As you can see, it's been a tough day for me, and I don't have words to explain books anymore, so just bear with me. The next one that we have from Bell Box was Inseparable by Saban Davis. I believe it's like these 2 guys and 1 girl. They're like childhood friends, and they have been inseparable since children, but one of the friends is kind of going down a dark path, and it's really ruining the friendship that all three of them have together. And then one thing happens and it breaks their bonds forever, and it's a story of them trying to come back together. It sounds really good. Hopefully I like it. I've heard really good things about this author, so I'm excited to give this one a go. And the last two books that I have here are in a series. Mystic Box usually does like one author per box, and this time it was Penelope Douglas. So I have the exclusive editions of Hideaway and Kill Switch in the Devil's Night series, I'm pretty sure it's called. The first one being Corrupt. I don't own that one in this edition, but I do love these editions. They are very gorgeous. They are also signed by PD, so you know what? I'm not complaining. I'm very excited. I have been meaning to continue on with the series anyways, so excited to have these editions, and hopefully I can get to these ones ASAP. Alright, y'all, that is it. That is all the books that I hauled in the last few months. I am not going to hold them up because there are literally too many to count. So I really hope that you enjoyed this quick rapid fire book haul. Hopefully you don't mind that there was not too many synopsises, because I don't think that would have been fun or entertaining or exciting. So hopefully you enjoyed this video anyways. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. Please let me know what you thought of Book of Night, because I need some more motivation to either let it go or continue on. And I know you guys will give me all that I need. So thank you. But other than that, that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks, baby. Turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady.